It's wild. It's really wild to me. And maybe that's because I'm making a square out of my fingers. Maybe I'm a square, and I thought that I wasn't. But
you are not a square. You talk about boobs all the time. You're not a square, ma'am. Stop.
Do love boobs.
You love boobs, and you're not a square. When she said all of that,
Listener discretion advised. Adult language and mature content.
Hello, everybody. It is Two Queens, One Screen. I'm Jen.
I'm Keeley.
And we are back to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And Keeley has a really crazy true crime story time for us tonight.
This is going to be a good fight today. I'm excited to fight with you.
It's going to be a violent episode just all the way through.
I'm ready.
I was just telling you, I don't even know whose side I'm on right now. Keeley knows whose side she's on. I'm on nobody's side and everybody's side. I can see the different angles, but I don't know. I'm feeling all mixed up. I watched the episode twice today, and I still feel mixed up about things.
I watched it twice also. Yes.
It's nuts. I need to also catch up on the Watch What Happens Lives. I haven't watched those either. So there's probably information that we're missing. I'm going to say it again. I've said it before. I hate, and this feeds into this last episode, I hate how much online discourse there is. There is so much that we have to follow on different social medias.
Yeah.
What's popping. Like, people are talking about what's going on Reddit.
Yeah.
What happened at BravoCon. Things that happen on podcasts. It is so frustrating that there's so much going on that I can't just watch the show to know what's going on.
No, I get that. I can see.
I enjoy it. I'm doing a podcast about it. I'm just contributing to more of this. But I'm not, like, digging up more shit.
No, agree.
I guess is the thing.
I get that. I like it because most of the time it validates my feelings.
Fair. Well, at least what you're reading validates your feelings. It depends. If you are in our comments on TikTok, it goes both ways.
True.
Much like Kyle Richards, our comment section goes both ways. Sometimes it's on your team. Sometimes it's not. Yeah. And
haters gonna hate, and they're gonna hate me this week again. And I am proud. I could give a shit less because I know I'm right.
Keeley's putting herself out there, and then she's very sweet to only post fart stories that I tell. So I'm never in the line of fire.
Shit.
Okay, so
what episode is this? I don't remember. What's the number? Did you write it down?
No,
is it 12? Is it 10?
Does it even fucking matter? Because
I don't know.
They have still left in all of the Watch What Happens lives.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I know that this is a first world problem, but they still left all those in, so the numbers are off.
Can I tell you? So I think I've sent a couple of them to you. You know how they had last season after show, right?
Yes.
And this season, I'm seeing clips on TikTok, and I'm like, where the fuck are these things? I finally found it. It's on YouTube, and it's called Bravo HQ. But there's only clips of it, so it doesn't post the full 20 minutes or half hour. It just does these stupid clips, but they're there. I don't love it, but I found it. And I'm not going to commit to watching them every week because I really want them. I'm super pissy. I really want them to be the whole thing.
No, I loved when it was its own show.
Yeah. I want it to come back to be its own show, and I want it to be a part of this so I can watch it right after part of the season.
Why would they take it away from us? Why do they make us go onto their YouTube?
I don't know.
Is it for their SEO? I don't know. I don't understand any of these big words that I'm having to dabble in.
What they've episode 13, Unicorn Overboard, is what we watched.
Unicorn Overboard.
Number 13, which I don't know that it's really 13. It might be like 8 or something, but oh my gosh. And this was another episode of everybody having a conversation. Just conversations the entire time. So,
yeah.
I mean, except for the beginning little blurb when they're still on the boat.
Yeah, and I feel like everyone was trying to have something happen and do something that wasn't just sitting and fighting, and I appreciate that. So we did the yoga with Captain Jason, which Heather and Brittany turned into a conversation.
I know, how rude.
And Whitney's like, you're ruining my zen. Stop having this conversation. And then they have breakfast. And that was its own thing.
Yeah.
And in the getting ready for breakfast, they're kind of showing everybody having conversations about the crazy fight that happened the night before. And this is the beginning of Meredith just getting really wound up about Britani, and Britani bringing up the TikTok that had Seth. And she calls her a Disney princess. She calls her a Tin Man because she's got no brain. She's an idiot. I don't really disagree with Meredith. And honestly, I am wondering if, like, she has just been holding everything in. Because we're like, what drugs is she on? We want the same thing. And then when she explodes, she explodes. Yeah. And she's done it a couple times, and it's all being focused at Britani. Granted, Britani is for some reason going after her too. Yeah. Britani starts it. Meredith finishes it. So, and she does, she's unrelenting, which is the whole point of this episode. Britani said that she said that with good intentions. No, you didn't. No, you were hammered. You said that when you were pissed off. You said it when you were mad that she called out that you were drinking tequila. After you puked. Like,
I don't think anybody believes that. But Britani loves to play a victim. Loves it.
We'll talk about, like, our feelings about everybody at the end. But, yeah, fucking Britani. Basically, then there's also a point where Bronwyn goes to check on Meredith. Meredith, looking smoking hot in her teeny bikini.
Oh, my God, right? Oh.
And she's showing her, oh, look, I have Uni the unicorn. It's a gift for you. And she's like, no, I don't want it. She's like, what if you call it a sacrifice? And she's like, well, you've changed my mind. And so they get dressed up in crazy outfits, the blow up pink shark. And then I think she was like a shrimp or something. Lobster. Yeah. And they go and they throw the unicorn overboard. Here's the thing. I think Meredith 100% is doing it vindictively. Yeah. Wants to hurt Britani by doing this thing in a comical way that at least they're giving us something other than a fight for 5 minutes. Bronwyn, I think, is genuinely being a girl's girl. I think Bronwyn is trying to... I don't think Bronwyn likes Britani, but I think that there's part of her that goes, you don't have to keep doing this. Yeah. You don't have... Listen to me. You're being insane. Like, let's fix this. There's part of Bronwyn that wants to help Britani. And I think her doing that was meant to be kind of like a, look, you don't need this. This is not something that you need to. And you had said this last time. That thing doesn't say I love you. Yeah. It says you are loved. Yeah. And those are not the same things.
Yeah, I appreciate that about Bronwyn. She does do or have moments of really very cute girl moments with each of them. And I really like that about her. I wish she was like that all the time. Yeah. So
I thought I actually, as dumb as that was, I appreciated it. Then they go to breakfast. They're at breakfast. Britani has no idea that they've thrown her unicorn off the side of the boat. And Meredith comes in hot. And she's like, Britani's filled with hatred. Yeah. Like Britani and Meredith are talking at the same time. Yeah. And it's obnoxious to me. But Meredith is like, she's a fucking idiot, but who I'm really mad at is Whitney. What did you think about that?
I mean, ho-hum. I don't know. I think it was kind of a pushed storyline. It seemed kind of meh to me. But they did have a good exchange. Whitney was like, I can explain and I can answer your question. And it wasn't out of control, you know. It was fine, but we could have done without it, I guess. I don't know.
I feel like Meredith needs to be mad at somebody. But a very well-reasoned argument, the lawyer in her was like, all right, I'm not going to fight you.
Yeah.
But she will 100% fight Britani.
Yeah.
What was all over Britani, by the way? The, like, lines on her chest and on her arms.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it tanning lotion or spray tan dripping or something?
No, it looked like wounds.
No.
And then I was like,
oh, yeah, no, I know. Like you try different lipsticks or something.
But she had it on her chest.
Yeah, I don't.
And her arm.
I don't know.
But I don't remember seeing it there when they were doing yoga earlier.
Yeah, no, I saw that too.
What is going on? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And this is one of the few outfits that I thought she looked very cute and fashion in. Was that like
the orange
baby doll orange thing?
Yeah.
That she actually looked good, other than the weird lines that she had all over it.
Yeah, that was weird.
What are you ruining this for?
I don't know. Yeah.
But it ends up just kind of escalating. And Meredith is like, you know what? It's to the rest of the women, basically, it's her or me.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you're either like siding with me or I'm done with you.
Mm-hmm.
And Heather took that very personally.
Oh, fuck Heather. Yep.
And Heather's like, no, what are you talking? Why is Heather going to bat for Britani? I don't know. And this is
Heather the mom all of a sudden in this fucking episode. Heather, stop. Nobody needs to do what you say. Nobody needs to feel how you feel.
Yeah, Heather has officially decided that she's the judge and jury.
Yeah.
And she's the one that gets to dictate who's right and who's wrong in these situations. And
why?
I don't know. I'm really frustrated by it.
Yeah, me too.
As they're having this like big exchange and it's escalating, Bronwyn turns to Mary and is like, Mary, you are a woman of God. You're a mother. Can you speak to this? Like, tell them they need to chill the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And Mary says not a word. She just sits there and shakes her head. And she's like, no one's going to listen to me. And I was like, oh, she's so smart.
I love it. She said God could come down to this breakfast table and they would still ignore him and not do what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Then they all leave the boat. Looks like Heather gave them a really big tip. They all apologize for being assholes.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, don't forget your unicorn. And they bring the unicorn to Britani. And she's like, why is it wet? I think it's sweet that they saved it. Also, I think they probably have to because that's littering. Does it still count littering in the ocean?
I don't know. Probably.
It feels like I was like, we don't need more. There's already like an island of garbage out in there. We don't need to add that unicorn to the ocean suffering. Bronwyn said that she thought that she would see the humor in it. It was a joke. Britani at this point already feels too attacked and is fully in like, I'm hurt. I'm in victim mode. Yeah. I didn't cause any of this. Why would they turn on me? Everyone says these things. Why do they turn on me? Britani is not a baby in this. Yes, she's getting some strong reactions, but like out of nowhere, you said that her husband's cheating on her and you have proof. And it's not going to go over well.
Yeah.
And that's also going back to Whitney when Mare turned on Whitney. And Whitney's like, there's really no good way for me to tell you. But one, I gave her the option. She tells you or she says nothing and I tell her. Mm-hmm. Or I tell you. And but it's really like there's no way for Whitney to tell Meredith and it to go over well.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one's going to be in the good person for saying this. So, but again, unicorn thing, I think malicious on Meredith's part, funny on Bronwyn's part, and Britani's never going to see it.
Oh, yeah.
For any of that.
No. Can you imagine being parented by a person like Britani when you're her child and all she does is complain about how she gets the short end of the stick? I mean, that would be what it would be like to have that person as your mother. No wonder these people don't want her in their lives. I could not be around her and expect her to be an authority figure and a parent. No, she would blame everything on you and she's the victim. It doesn't work like that when you're a parent. So
the whole thing, Brittany makes no sense to me at all. But then they all go to the airport. And you sent me a video about this that was super interesting, but we don't know what happened because there was no filming going back to the U.S.
Yeah.
And the different versions of events, there's two camps.
Mm-hmm.
There's Meredith lost her goddamn mind for hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Meredith got a little bit upset for a little bit, but she didn't say anything crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know what I believe. Okay, so everyone has conversations
then say
about
it. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, we can say, like, I'm trying to think if there was anything. Britney has a full meltdown and has, like, or like an actual breakdown allegedly because of Meredith Marks bullying her and going after her for hours on this flight. And Mary's telling Bronwyn about it because Bronwyn flew separately.
Yeah.
So Mary's telling Bron about it. She says that Meredith went nuts. Mm-hmm. Whitney's telling Justin about it.
Yeah. And
says that she lost her mind and that Lisa was egging it on.
Yeah.
Lisa's telling John about it and he was like, oh, yeah, Meredith. She also says Meredith lost her mind. Mm-hmm. And she was talking loud about Britney. But then he was like, well, did she want Britney to hear? And she's like, I don't know. Like, she's being very non-committal about anything and that she has seen, and we've seen Meredith Marks get upset and lose her shit, right? Mm-hmm. In seasons before. Lisa tells John, I've seen her get upset. I've seen her be angry. I've seen her do a little flip out. This is the worst I've ever seen her, is what she tells John.
Yeah.
Heather and Britney get together. Heather's checking on Britney. Apparently, Heather and Britney were together on the flight, but Heather missed all of the conversation because she was sleeping. I think everyone took sleeping meds, probably on the plane.
Sure.
Condone
I would.
it.
Yeah.
But then also, like, woke up to Meredith being mean to Britney freaking out, hearing Lisa tell her that she had fucked up and that she needs to show her the fucking TikTok and things like that. Britney says that Meredith was shaking the seat because Meredith was sitting behind
Britney.
Well, technically Lisa was behind Britney.
Yeah.
And but then Meredith had to go to the bathroom and was like shaking her seat, pulling her hair, throwing wine at her, cursing her out. And Heather is fully on team Britney. She's like, listen, she said, you deserve dignity, support, and protection, and it doesn't matter. I'm your friend, and I'm behind you in this. Anyone who does this doesn't deserve your friendship or my friendship. Like, oh, fuck. This is like, it sounds like it must have been terribly abusive.
But why is Heather the end-all, be-all, and the god now in this relationship? Can I just say, Britney shows up to this lunch with no fucking makeup on. But in this, like, couture outfit.
She hasn't eaten.
What?
In days.
Hasn't slept.
Hasn't slept. What? Can't stop crying.
Are you joking? Stop. Like, I could not. I looked at her face and I was like, this is so disgusting and such an act, and wants everybody to feel sorry for her. And she is going to lean into this victim thing like there is no end. And it was gross. And she's like, Heather, I thought about waking you up. Heather's like, you should have woke me up. Well, what would you have done, Heather? What are you going to do? Are you going to stop the flight? Are you going to wave your magic wand because now you're the mom? What?
I mean, if there was a fight, Heather would win. Physically, Heather could take out every single woman on this cast. But Yeah, no, it was a bizarre conversation where Heather pledges allegiance to Britani. Oh, God.
What? Where am I? What fucking Neverland am I in? It was gross. I am right to not like Heather. I'm done with Heather. I don't give a shit. No, it's over.
Oh,
Nope.
I don't know. I feel like I've said this to you earlier. I feel like everyone collectively is in the wrong to different levels. Everybody's wrong. Like, there's nobody that walks away from this clean. So at this point, as far as my allegiances go, would I want to be friends with you in real life? And do you make good TV? Like, that's the only reason I care about you now. Because this, like, everything is so off the rails with these women. I don't think I'm fully on anyone's team. Bronwyn
I want you to tell me what it's like to live in that neutral world. What is it like for you to live in that neutral world? You cannot be neutral for the rest of your life. You can't.
I'm not neutral.
You can't.
I'm not Team Britani. I'm not Team Britani.
Nope.
I'm not Team Britani.
Nope. You have to believe someone and you have to disbelieve another person. You just have to.
I partially believe both of them and I disbelieve both of them.
Stop.
Oh, I'll tell you why in a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Bronwyn and Whitney get together. Whitney said that there was taunting and terrorizing. She repeated the Lisa saying, "You effed up." She said there was pure rage. And Bronwyn says, if I was on that flight, there would be cell phone service. Like, I would have recorded it. I would have recorded this.
Thank you.
Granted, do you remember last year when Britani tried recording on the
totally.
Bus?
Yeah.
So, like, Meredith would have physically attacked you if you did that. But that video that you sent me, where the guy was like, they've said half that flight, at least half of first class, was cast or production. Why is none of that recorded?
Yeah. Nobody's cell phone. They don't have to have a big boom mic. They don't have to have these giant cameras. Get out your fucking cell phone. But nobody did it. Why?
I don't know. Were they all, like, on drugs? So I thought that was interesting.
Maybe it didn't happen the way they all said it did. Right. Hello? I mean, what?
Right.
What?
And, like, if she was screaming and yelling,
right,
why was there no arrest?
Like, there is an air marshal on every single flight, people. Every flight. Mm-hmm. She would have been arrested. She would have been detained on the flight, on the airplane, taken to a different seat, handcuffed to that seat, and then she would have been arrested when they landed. That's it.
And I don't believe that there weren't other passengers who weren't frustrated.
Correct.
If I paid for a first class seat,
correct,
and I hear, actually, I take it back. I started to say, what I was about to say was, if I paid for a first class seat, I would not put up with that, listening to that. Actually, I would pay extra to listen to that, now that I say it out loud. Exactly. I would 100% pay to hear Meredith.
And I would record it.
But I would have recorded it.
Yes.
So here's my conspiracy theory. I think there is footage. I think there's footage that we will get at the reunion or something. I think that we're going to see, but we're not going to see until later on when more of this shit has come out. Well, like farther down the line. Because we've done that before. We
can go back to Heather and the bruised eye, the black eye. There was no fucking footage of that. Mm-mm. And we went for an entire however many months until the reunion. Mm-hmm. Heather lying for however many months until the reunion and finally fessing up. Bold-faced fucking lying on camera. Yeah. And nobody had footage of that. And
I mean, there's no reliable witnesses here, as far as I'm concerned. Then there's a weird pivot that maybe I want to talk about last, but also we'll just say that Bronwyn is talking about how people would have recorded stuff.
Yes.
And she's like, by the way, here's online proof all over Twitter that Todd was looking at women that weren't me, pictures that he'd gotten via message, text message, of women in lingerie on his phone on a flight while she was out of town.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a weird conversation, which I kind of want to leave to the end because I think we really need to put all of this, like, what happened, what didn't happen, to the test here.
Yeah.
Because then, after the Whitney Bronwyn conversation, there's Heather and Lisa go to brunch. First, Lisa's over an hour late.
I know.
So
she does that a lot. That's not good.
It's shitty. It's really shitty. And I'm a notoriously late person. I'm not going to be late letting you sit at a restaurant for an hour.
Yeah.
That fucking sucks. And, like, I am a late person apologist because I am one myself. That's just fucking disrespectful of other people's time. Like, 20 minutes is like, you're pushing it. You could just be like, I love you so much. I'm just, like, a piece of shit. Lisa, it's fully disrespectful.
Yeah, but we have seen Mary in the past say something. She was late to a Meredith thing, I think. And she was like, but yeah, it's all the way fucking in Park City and I live in whereverville, Utah. And it's an hour and a half in between. So I guess, I mean, there's that. We don't really know where this restaurant was in terms of Lisa's house. But still, she should have said, right, I will be late. You know, I get that.
Yeah. But then Lisa walks in and Lisa's in trouble. And I don't know how much of that would have been as intense if Lisa hadn't been so fucking late.
Sure.
But Lisa's in trouble. Like, Lisa's like, hey, what's going on? Like, hey,
she's
good.
in the principal's office. Heather's a fucking principal.
Heather's sitting there and she's like, And
so it got really bad. It was really bad. Yeah, it just got really bad. Oh
Lisa says that she did nothing. Lisa said that she had just been trying to soothe Meredith, to just diffuse her. They had the back and forth that they had. I genuinely had a headache. Like a legit headache. I had to watch the conversation twice to make heads or tails of it. The cognitive dissonance that is happening with these women, I think we're going to have to... I believe that the story is somewhere in the middle. I don't believe that Meredith was screaming, ranting, and raving. However, I don't believe that different people giving the accounts of Lisa saying, you fucked up, and joining in, I 100% believe that Lisa did. So Lisa being like, no, I didn't, and I was just there trying to calm down Meredith. I don't believe that. I don't believe that Meredith was screaming. I do believe she probably was bullying. I do believe they were probably taunting. They are fucking sick of Britney. Well, Lisa isn't sick of Britney. I'm a little surprised that Britney was so surprised that Lisa turned in. I was like, I don't think Lisa ever really liked you that much. But the Meredith-Lisa connection is deep. They ride hard for each other. Meredith then goes out to dinner with Mary, and Mary's like, I was there, and Lisa's like, or I'm sorry, Meredith's like, I was mean for me. I was talking to my friend for 15 minutes about how frustrated I was. I was venting to a friend. It's nothing I hadn't already said to her face. Meredith was so fucking lawyery. I don't think Meredith was wrong. I do think Meredith is underplaying it, and I do think that Meredith is going to do whatever she can to shift it. I think Meredith did more than she and Lisa are copping up to. I also think that everyone was taking sleeping pills, so maybe isn't totally on track, and so they've like blown it up, especially after they saw Britney being such an over-the-top victim, is what I think. This isn't everyone's the asshole situation. Mary thinks that Meredith needs to like apologize. I think Britney sucks. I think Britney started it. I think Meredith fully went on the attack, probably more than she needed to, but also none of this would have started if Britney hadn't fucking done that. But there's so many fights back and forth that this is going to go on forever. So, I don't know. I know you're on Team Lisa, so why don't you tell me about your Team Lisa point of view on this?
Here's the thing. Going back to Lisa and Heather's conversation, I watched it twice as well. The first time I was ping-ponging, going, I can't listen. I'm not hearing and absorbing what each one of them is saying because they're talking over each other. I watched it a second time, so I kind of knew what was coming, and I was able to more absorb and have an opinion about it. Heather, for whatever reason, is deemed herself the head of this squad for whatever reason, and is now the principal, and Lisa's in the principal's office being yelled at by an adult, and Lisa's not an adult anymore. Every time Lisa would say something, Heather would, what's the right word? Heather would turn her down and just talk like a parent to her. But then when Lisa tried to do the same, Heather would spin it and say, please don't talk to me like that. That's not what I was saying. I'm trying to be a friend to you, which is not what Heather was doing. Heather was not trying to be a friend to Lisa, but every time Lisa responded with whatever she said, Heather turned it around. And that was the whole thing was not fair at all. All Lisa did was trying to defend herself. That is it. She just defended herself. Lisa actually admitted, you didn't say this, but Lisa actually admitted to turning around to Britani and saying, show her the TikTok. She goes, yes, I actually turned around and I said that to her, but that's all that I did. I didn't do anything else. So Lisa has constantly been defending herself to this entire group, this entire time, and is over it. No one has had her back. Every single person is coming for her 24/7. And now they're doing it again. And she is over it. She is done. I would be done if I were her. Also, Britani started the stupid thing. Meredith is going to finish it, just like you said. But Heather was asleep the entire fucking time. So Heather has no idea what happened. Heather said, oh, I woke up at the end. Bitch, that doesn't mean you watched the whole fight. That doesn't mean that you heard anything. But she's yelling at Lisa saying, I was there, I heard it. No, you didn't, because you said you were asleep. So pick a story. Fucking find a lane and stay in it. I'm tired of her running over everybody and not saying the truth. Heather is not saying the truth at all. And I don't know where she comes off with Lisa. And Meredith with Mary. Meredith was trying to be respectful with Mary and Mary's opinion of what happened. I don't know that I believe everything that Mary says is gospel and comes out of her mouth is the truth just because she's Mary. I don't believe that also. I do think maybe Meredith was downplaying it a little bit. However, Meredith has no problem getting 2 inches from your face and screaming at you and telling you to leave or get the fuck out of here and you're a nasty piece of shit and I'm done. So I don't like the word bullying. I don't like it at all because I don't think what she was doing was bullying. I think she was expressing how she felt because Britani's a piece of shit. Agreed. And the whole dropping wine on her and shaking her chair and pulling her hair.
I think that's all blown out of proportion.
Meredith got up to go to the bathroom and she probably grabbed the back of the chair to stand up correctly. And probably some of Britani's hair was there. Like I'm grabbing a piece of my hair right now as I'm touching the back of my chair. But I didn't yank
she wasn't
my
nice
hair
about it. But I doubt that I wouldn't say that things would fall under a physical assault the way that Britani is explaining it. I 100% think all of that's being embellished.
100%.
I also think everyone's probably tired. Alcohol, meds to help you sleep / relax. So, like, everyone's recollection of it is blurry. But I think that it's more than Meredith is copping to. I think Lisa participated more than she's copping to. But also, it can't have been this huge explosive thing because no air marshals involved. There's no fucking recording of it.
Right.
People would be complaining.
Right.
Unless they booked the whole first class. Like, I just, part of me is so sure that there's got to be something. If the producers were in first class with them, there fucking has to be something.
What if what just happened was just like at breakfast when Meredith's like, I'm not talking to you anymore, but I'm going to talk about you to someone else.
That's what I think happened.
Was breakfast bullying? No. I think that's what happened. What happened at breakfast. I don't think it was bullying. I don't. I think you throw that word around and it's very lightly used, and that's not what bullying is. These women gang up on one person the entire season. They pick one and they gang up on her. And Lisa is it for this season for whatever reason. There's nowhere for her to go. She can't go up. She can't go down. She can't go to the side. She can't go under. There's nowhere for her to go because she has no support. I don't think Meredith bullied her at breakfast. I think probably what happened was more like what happened at breakfast. That's what I think.
No, I think that's fair. I agree with that. I think it's probably, there's a certain point where you go, okay, it's overkill. Like, we're done now. Can we be done now?
Yeah.
And Meredith isn't being done now. And
Correct.
she's, like, they're just continuing to talk shit. They just keep it going. The whole group does it. Here's the thing. Britani versus Meredith, and I'm not saying that it's not warranted, it's not a fair fight. And because she's a fucking moron. Britani is a fucking moron.
Yeah.
Meredith, I think, is lowering herself by giving Britani any attention. Honestly. And what sucks is for her to have let Britani, being a fucking idiot, get under her skin like that is now setting her up for now Britani is a victim.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
Because one thing that Heather does do is she does rally everybody. Mm-hmm. She's done that every single season. So now Heather is going to rally everybody for Britani, and that sucks. Mm-hmm. Like, even Mary doesn't like Britani. Is Mary going to be on Britani's side? I don't know. I'm not on Britani's side. I really don't care what happens to Britani. I hate that this is what, like, is going to galvanize different sides of this fight. Because before, everyone was like, I'm a little on your side, I'm a little on your side. Yeah. In all the different fights.
Yeah.
Because all the fights go back so far. This one, I feel like is going to galvanize too much, and I hate that if it's going to be over something, fucking Britani, it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
No, I agree.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I want to say one thing I thought about with Heather on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't watch the whole thing. I've watched a couple of clips, but Andy asked Heather, you have, blamed Lisa for all of these leaks. Like you said, you've rallied the groups, and Andy says, do you have receipts? And Heather says, yes, I have receipts. I have proof, and I have timeline. I don't believe her. Do you know why? Because when she did with Monica, she showed them and she read them. Mm-hmm. She didn't do that this time. She's a liar. She's a liar.
I didn't believe her for any of the clips. The other one that came out was about that Andy was like, Captain Jason said you guys didn't hook up. And she was like, okay. And I guess that's what we didn't do. And it was like, nothing sat right. This like weird version of like culture that they have like built in Salt Lake City Mormon communities where like everyone gets married too early and walks out and is a fucking wild child who's also totally emotionally stunted.
Yep.
It's weird and it sucks. So, which actually leads me right back into
the best part of the whole thing.
The Bronwyn Whitney conversation. Okay.
I'm so mad.
You're mad?
Yes.
Ooh, tell me why you're mad.
I'm mad because Bronwyn this whole fucking time has been screaming at Lisa to leave her family alone. Don't talk about my husband again. My husband didn't do these things. You leaked this shit. Blah, 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 blah. She has this conversation with Whitney and admits what?
That she wants to have a conversation with Todd about, I mean, for lack of a better word, opening up their marriage.
Right. Having threesomes, being swingers, doing all of this other stuff outside their marriage.
If they had a conversation.
Are you kidding?
It's wild. It's really wild to me. And maybe that's because I'm making a square out of my fingers. Maybe I'm a square, and I thought that I wasn't. But
you are not a square. You talk about boobs all the time. You're not a square, ma'am. Stop.
You love boobs.
You love boobs, and you're not a square. When she said all of that,
it was just a bizarre conversation to me. And we've talked about this when we used to talk about our 90-Day Fiancé, when Gino and Jasmine were deciding whether or not to open up their marriage.
Right.
So she's talking about how she would only have this conversation with Whitney. Whitney also was younger than her husband. They've been married for a long time. They want to make sure that their marriage is evolving together. She says a couple things. She would like to say, like, oh, yeah, you saw Todd make out with some girl. Yeah, I know. I picked her out for him. That's something that is too high level for me.
Then why didn't she say that? Why didn't she say that?
Well, because it wasn't true. She was surprised by it at the time.
It wasn't true.
She's trying to stay married and feel like in control of what's going on. Because, like, let's be honest, if Todd's cheating, Todd's going to continue to cheat. Right?
Right. He's been cheating since day one when they were on last season, and she's bawling about him looking at pictures of women again and talking to women on his iPad, and Gwen saw it. Since then, we don't know how long this man has been stepping out on her. And look at this man. This man is an ogre. Look at him. What person is looking at him going, I'm going to get some of that. Nope. No.
And just throwing out there, it doesn't seem like he's that interested in anyone else's pleasure.
Correct.
Like, there's just nothing about that says, like, I bet he's giving in bed. Like, nothing. No. So then Whitney says, Justin and I have been there. Like, we've gotten to points that, I thought I didn't want to be with him anymore and vice versa. And I want to look at what's going on out there. And we have friends that are in different kinds of relationships. And the back and forth that they're having is really kind of bizarre to me. And this is just my view on it, not my experience. But it seems like, as an outsider to that community, that these women are growing up so repressed sexually. Like, all of that's like, this is for marriage, which is like half of the reason that it's like you are just for your husband, but then you're going to get to do all of those things with your husband. So it's like all of that is for marriage. And then these women get married, and men, and you get married, and then sexuality is suddenly like, well, you're married, so you can do all of the things that you couldn't do before, and it was all forbidden, so let's try all the things. And then you've got the moms of TikTok, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and they're all swinging together because they're all just trying to like do all of the experimenting that they didn't get to do when they were young adults. And all of that was like hidden and shunned and like not allowed to be talked about or figured out. And then now they deconstruct from the religion, and then they go really fucking hog wild. Apparently Whitney's got her stripper pole that she's doing, and who knows what she's out and about. She's saying that she goes out, she's like, I'm wild. I go out and I am safe, and I come home to him and I communicate with him. What the fuck is she doing?
Right.
All of it was very veiled, which if it works for them, amazing. But she also was like, life is meant to be lived, and I believe that marriage is sacred. But also, when her kids are out of the house, she'll be inviting them to her parties.
Like, marriage is not sacred if that's how you treat it. That's your relationship. Your relationship. Marriage is not, that is not a sacred marriage. When she's going outside and they have an open marriage, that is not sacred. What is she talking? I'm not surprised about any of this with Whitney. Was not surprised to hear it. I was like, ho hum, this is exactly what's happening. We all know. Look at her. Look at her. How she acts. Of course she does this. No one is disputing that. Can I just tell you, I grew up LDS. I grew up people telling me that sex for women is just to have babies. It is not for the women's enjoyment. It is not to be wanted. It is not anything you are supposed to experiment in. You're not supposed to talk about. You're not supposed to look at. You're not supposed to do anything. And I married the first guy I had sex with who went on a mission. I had never had sex before. And any time in the relationship, I wanted to do something different in bed, I got shunned. I got made fun of. I got told to shut up. And it was horrific. And it scarred me and traumatized me. Yeah. And I am not married to this person anymore. But that is how I experienced sex for me. It was never individualized. It was never, this is what I like. This is what I want to do. This is what I want you to do to me. This is what I want to do together. It was never like that because sex is supposed to procreate babies. And that is it. And it took me, I am 52. It took me because I was shamed so badly for the 14 years that I was with this man. It took me up until about 5 years ago, maybe less, to understand that I could have wants and needs in the bedroom or in terms of any sort of sex or sensual pleasure or anything ever. I still am a little gun shy and traumatized. And Steve will be like, there's nothing wrong. It's totally fine. Like, he does not make me feel shame or embarrassed or anything. And it is disgusting how the LDS Church does this to women. Women are a second-class citizen. Women should not have opinions. Women are just there to have kids, and that's it. That's it. And it is gross. It is gross. Yeah. And it makes me sick. And
I think it warps your relationship with your body.
Yeah.
And it warps your self-worth.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, we look at Whitney and we look at Bronwyn, who are women that really got fucked over by not, like, being completely immersed in this culture and then not following the rules and then really being punished for it.
Yep.
And so I think they're trying to find that. And I don't know. I don't think that there's anything wrong inherently with exploring these things. I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to figure out, like, what your wants and needs are.
Yeah.
And figuring out who you are. I also think that there's, like, maybe I don't know if that's going to be the right venue long term. But also, who the fuck am I to say? I don't know.
Maybe I feel like Bronwyn, I got a little bit of a sense that she was trying to do a Band-Aid on her relationship. You know how people have baby Band-Aids? Like they think, if I have another baby, our relationship's going to get great. Like I think I got a little bit from Bronwyn's conversation that she said, you know, my marriage would be so great if we evolved, if we did this.
Yes.
I feel like it's personal
and we'll
for her.
Get
like,
there.
Right. She wants to do that, which is great and fine. I love it. Go do your thing. I love that for you. But to then lop it in to, it'll make us better. No, it's not going to. I don't think he's going to want to do that stuff.
You just need open communication, and you just have to get him there, and we're just going to have conversations about it. And I truly believe, listen, if that's something that you can, it's this separating the intimacy of your marriage from physical intimacy with other people.
Yeah.
That is
oh God, yeah.
The Olympics of relationships. I am not flexible enough for that shit. I just can't. And I guess it's kind of like when men are like, oh, I could fight a bear. And it's like, no, you couldn't fight a bear.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I could go do gymnastics. Oh, I could go have an open relationship and be totally fine with it. I'm like, I feel like people aren't, especially if you're not in a good place in your relationship and you're like, this could work. I feel like you're not having an honest reflection of yourself or your relationship here.
Almost positive that Whitney and Justin have been doing this from day one. Like I get that vibe from them, which is great. Like day one, this is what they do in their relationship. And that's why they can move it along throughout their marriage. Bronwyn, like you said, is just now starting to want to do this. Starting it is so hard, right? At this stage in I don't think it's going to work. I just don't think it's going to work.
And Bronwyn was going to Whitney because they both have these older husbands. And she's like, then we'll evolve together in the same direction. Here's the thing. I could see Justin being interested in continuing to evolve, at least in that arena of things, right?
Yeah.
I think I don't totally necessarily understand the ins and outs of their marriage, but I do see them both being more flexible and committed to each other.
Yes.
I don't see that. I don't see any interest in Todd for any sort of self-evolution.
No.
Let alone relationship evolution.
Let alone Bronwyn's wants and needs. Fuck that. My God.
And I think that this is another version of her feeling maybe she can, if she participated, she would feel like she was in control of it a little bit. Yeah. Like, well, what if I was the one that was picking the women he was sleeping with outside of our marriage?
No.
And
just
I don't know.
Work.
I love Bronwyn. I think she's interesting. I think she's funny. I think there's ways that she sucks. This is also one of those ways where I'm like, I don't know. My heart really I feel for her really
super
deeply
bad.
in this. Oh.
But I do like that she went home immediately, confronted Todd, because she's always it's not my embarrassment. She's like, what the fuck is this Twitter shit? Right? She's not scared about it. And then told him to go spend the night, right, somewhere else because they needed a few minutes. I like that about her, that she's just not some wilting flower that's just going to take his, garbage over and over again. But I wish she would do that more for herself, because we see these scenes like the cherry gate that he just eats this cherry and she's in total shock and doesn't know what to do.
Okay, I'm going to say something that you'll, I think, be proud of me for saying. I don't know that I totally believe that that's how that went down.
Oh, okay.
I think that that's how she wants it to look. I think that's how she wishes she had handled it. I don't know that I totally believe that she could go in and have a conversation with him like that. Okay. And I say that based on the other conversations that I've seen her have with him.
That's true. I can see that.
I think she I think she wishes that that's how she handled it.
Okay.
I don't know that I believe that that's how she definitely did.
All
but
right.
look at me, skeptical.
I know. Look at you.
And then the other thing we forgot to talk about, completely unrelated, the very uncomfortable conversation between Angie and her daughter.
Oh, God, I know. Angie. Not going to happen. Those teenagers are nasty.
I just felt for her so deeply, and I was like, Angie, let go.
Yeah.
Angie, stop it with the Greek shit. Yeah. She doesn't like it. You're not going to convince her to like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let her find an appreciation for it on her own, because she's going to hate it because of you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Exactly.
And Electra is not giving her an inch.
Electra I'm surprised that she even allowed Angie in her room. Like, that's what we're talking about. The disdain and contempt. Like, get away from me, Mom, and stop talking. Just stop.
And she had no idea that the horse that she goes to horse shows with is worth more than a Porsche. Whoops. That's news to her.
Yeah. Well, she lives in this, glass house, this bubble. So
literal glass house.
No, seriously. Like, it's kind of disturbing to watch that. But, I have been trying to prep Steve for, Peyton. And because she is in middle school now and hangs out with groups of friends now. And it's even worse in groups of girls. And Steve is so weird and so awkward around her and the friends. And I am trying to be so loving and so caring to him, talking to him away from her, going, honey, she doesn't want anything to do with you. She doesn't want you to speak. She doesn't want you to look at her. She just wants you to pretend that she is not in the room, and he can't help himself. And he says, I'm going to keep doing it. I don't care. And I said, she will be relentless and she will hurt your feelings. The man is a sensitive snowflake and I am not. And I am trying to tell him, I don't want your feelings hurt. She's going to be ruthless and vicious. Mm-hmm. And we played a little game and it worked. And this is what happened. We're driving in the truck. We're taking the girls to the mall. And they're in the back seat looking at their phone and talking amongst themselves. And he and I are in the front seat just listening to the radio. And he can't stand the silence and just says, when I was little, I didn't ask my mom what she was going to do for me today, where she was going to take me and how she was going to entertain me. I just woke up. I ate my cereal, which I fixed myself, and I just left. And I never came home till dinner time. And Peyton goes, what? And he says, I'm just trying to talk to you. And she goes, please stop talking because I don't care.
Oh, no.
And he goes, well, what do you mean? She goes, I don't care and I didn't ask. So please stop. And I just looked over at him like, this is what I'm talking about, dude. This is blessed. This is what I'm saying. And I don't want him to get his cute little feelings hurt, but she did it. She hurt his feelings.
Well,
she doesn't care. This is what teenagers do.
I have to find the book that was just recommended to me. I just ordered it, and it's literally about how their brains are literally telling them to not just figure out where their boundaries are, right, but to genuinely start a fight with us.
Yeah.
And they're wired to start a fight with us. That's what they need to do. And so you can't just let it go, but also you don't want to engage too much because you don't want to participate in it. So it's how do you walk that line?
You ignore them. I looked at him and I said, we are all in the same room. And you and I are going to be in the room. And they are going to be in the room. You and I are going to have dinner. We're going to make dinner. We're going to sit and have dinner. And we're going to talk to each other. If she needs something, she has a question, she will engage. That is it. We are nothing.
Don't participate.
We don't talk to her. We don't engage. We don't look at her. She's not here. That's how she wants this to go. And he can't help himself. He can't do it. And she just is ruthless towards him. I'm going to let it happen because I warned him. He doesn't scold her and say, don't talk to me like that, because she will disengage and leave the room. She'll, viper, bite him, and then leave the room because she doesn't want anything to do with the man. So we're going to practice that a little bit more about all being in the same room and him pretending it's just me and him, right? That's just what you got to do for your sanity.
See, I think, and watching that exchange between Angie and Electra was so uncomfortable, and you can see how desperately Angie is just like, I want you to think what I think is important. And I 100% feel that way.
No.
And it's like, I think that Angie is the sacrifice that all the women who have teens and preteens needed to see that. So I go, I can't do that.
No. Nope.
Angie, thank you for your service.
Yes.
Thank you, Angie. And also, Angie didn't get, that's the only time we saw her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Good for you, Angie.
Yeah.
We just saw you just get ripped apart by your daughter. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have 12-year-old sons, and one of them is he's always been kind of a pissy little guy. And I have found that, like, by being angry is actually how I connect with him the best. Because when I do try and, like, connect with him in, like, a calm way, it's not working. So, like, one, in general, he has to read a novel every quarter and do a report on it. That's part of what happens in 7th grade. And I'm like, you've got to read your book. You've got to read your book. Please, for the love of God, read some of your book. Because the book he got assigned is like almost 400 pages.
Oh,
it's a big book. And I'm like, you got to read. You got to go read. You got to, like, we have to do a project on this. Like, you got to get it read. And he's so pissed at me every time I remind him to read. And it's been obnoxious as F with all the other stuff that I have going on. And now you're going to be a dick to me because I'm telling you to do the thing that your teacher told you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then yesterday, I swear to God, I might cry. I cried yesterday. I found he had, like, read, he'd finished reading and, like, walked away. And I looked over, and on the book, next to the book was a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And because it had been a fight to get him to read. And I look at the piece of paper. Not only has he been reading, he's been taking notes on this book, so he'll have all of the notes for when he's, and I didn't even know he was doing that. Yay. So he could remember things when he goes to do his project. I didn't tell him to do that. I didn't even know that he was doing it.
Awesome.
And I was like, Sam, and he was like, God, what? And I was like, I love you. I'm so proud of you. Damn it. And he would, like, looked at me, and then I flipped him off.
Yeah.
And it was like, and that's what he wants. He wants me to, like, be mean to him and give him the middle finger. That's what he wants from me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then he went and took a shower. And I was like, I don't
see. There you go.
What the fuck is parenting? This is cuckoo crazy land. Is what I'm in right now.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to bring that to your house.
Yay!
We're gonna have Peyton is 11, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my boys are 12.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have 3 of them in a house together.
Oh, see, I'm telling you, we're not going to engage them at all. The 4 of us are just gonna have lovely conversations.
No, here's what we're going to do.
We're going to look over, and hopefully they'll still be there in the house. We don't know. I don't know.
Here's what's actually going to happen. You and me and Matt are going to have a great time. Peyton's going to be, hopefully, like, at least get an escape on her iPad occasionally from these boys. And then Steve is going to get all the attention he wants because he and Sam are going to just be full on wrestling all of the time. We're going to leave your house with Steve just battered. So tired.
Maybe he'll be tougher after that and his feelings won't be so hurt, but we'll see.
We'll see. I think
he tried to blame it on me. He said her reaction to me is learned by you. And I said, no. It is not learned by me. And if it is, she's smart, but it's not learned by me. I don't teach her to do that to you.
Is he trying to get popped?
He's really trying to get popped. Yeah. And I said, no. And then Peyton was listening. And so then I have to suck up to her and be like, she's just so smart. She's so beautiful. And she knows what she's doing. And Peyton's like, exactly. And I'm like, God, she scares the shit out of me. Like, this is what I'm doing to be safe in my house.
That's funny.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's going to be a good week.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And then after the show was over, they said the rest of the season on Housewives, and I'm wondering if they're going to take a weird break and not have episodes. Did you get that vibe?
A little bit, because I'm just wondering if this is kind of like I think this is that Heather Brittany conversation, and then the Heather Lisa conversation. I feel like that is a galvanizing moment.
Yeah.
So I'm a little stressed. I desperately want Mary to fix this. It looks like she's trying to. It looks like she has everyone at her church, and it looks like she's going to have a lunch where she gets everyone together to have a fucking conversation and take some responsibility. I think everyone needs to own their shit, and everyone has to let shit go to move forward. And I don't know that anyone's really capable of that. And based on the fact that they're doing interviews to this day and it's still fucking happening.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Bad news. So that's like a 3-week break because I don't really have anything else to watch.
Yeah, what do we have? I'm not watching anything.
I know.
I'm watching.
Right?
We started watching The Chair Company because you know how much I love.
I know. Steve's watching that too. I haven't watched it, but he's watching that too.
Matt and I can't watch anymore. We're too stressed out.
Okay.
It's too stressful.
All right.
And I love him.
Yeah.
But Matt turned it off and was like, I can't go to sleep now.
Okay.
Up. Do you know what we're doing? We're watching, Matt puts on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Aww.
And he watches a little bit of it until he passes out every night.
I love that show.
Because
that makes me cry. That show makes me cry.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
Yes! What are you talking about?
Why do you cry?
John Candy?
I know. I hate
Doesn't
him.
have anybody to go home to.
Oh, that part is sad.
Been fibbing the whole time?
That part is sad.
Yeah.
I need to find good things to watch again. I'm just mostly excited for Traitors to come back soon.
Oh, Traitors.
That's what I want.
I sent you the clip of It's Florida Man. That's coming back. Season 2.
I'm very excited. And I love that it's everyone from Righteous Gemstones for some reason.
Yes! What?
I love that.
Yeah. That's coming.
That'll be a fun, good one.
Mm-hmm.
Florida is weird.
Yeah.
Just gonna put it out there. I did see a spoonbill the other day, though. So.
Awesome.
I know. Have you seen that on TikTok? I'm going off the rails here. We will get back on track in a second. Have you seen that thing that's going around on TikTok where you tell your husband that you saw a bird?
Oh yeah.
And it's like how he responds to that is like a good
red flag, green flag kind of a thing.
Barometer, for where your relationship is.
Yeah.
And Matt saw the video. I was watching one and it popped up and he's like, what are they doing? And I explained it. And he's like, that doesn't work for you and me. And that's true because he and I are always so excited because we live in Florida. There's so many fucking crazy birds here.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm like, oh my God, I saw a wood stork, which is as tall as I am. Or we have sandhill cranes that are screaming as they walk down the street. Or we have ibises, or I saw a pink spoonbill. Like, this is just a conversation that we have every day anyway. And it's like, oh, what do you see? True. Actually, do you know what I saw today? I saw an owl. I'll send it to you. Matt walked right next to it, like probably within 5 feet of it. And he just like, the bird just watched him. Like we have owls that are really into our backyard right now.
Okay.
So anyway, have you told Steve that you saw a bird?
I have not. I've thought about it. I'm 1,000% he would be a green flag and be like, really? What kind of bird was it? Like, he's not going to look at me and go, the fuck? Because that's what I would do to him. I'd go, are you demented? Are you having a stroke? Like, that's what I would say. He's not going to say that to me.
So the other TikTok thing that goes around about relationships, and I actually think you kind of fit into, you and Steve, is the black cat wife and the golden retriever husband.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of you guys.
Yeah, I could see that, for sure.
I showed that to Matt, and he was like, no. And I was like, you're right. I'm more of like, I'm the orange cat, like the dumb orange cat. If you know anything about cats, orange cats are dumb and slutty. I'm not slutty.
Nice.
Orange cats are.
You just like boobs.
Love boobs.
We love boobs.
Just love boobs.
Oh.
Speaking of nothing to do with boobs, should we pivot like adults into some true crimes?
True crime story time. Whispers in the dark. Truth leaves a mark. True crime story time.
Yes, and I didn't tell you this, but I watched quite a few, probably 5 different ones because I couldn't decide. And I think 3 of them had to do with being in Florida, and I just giggled and I thought, these are so good. But I came across this one and I chose this one. The others, I might text you later. Maybe we could watch them and talk about them. But I really liked this one. It's a quick watch. It's only 45 minutes long. Well, 43 minutes technically. And it's on HBO Max, or you can watch it on Discovery Plus. And it's People Magazine Investigates. So they're stories that People Magazine has written about. And then they do, these little documentaries on these reenactments and things. And then they have, on-body video camera and police interrogation videos that go with it, which are really good. There's, I think, 6 seasons or 8 seasons of it. Yeah.
But they don't have the first season on HBO.
Yeah.
I had not seen any of this show before. Okay. It was really well done.
No, it was really good. This is season 2. I watched a couple on different seasons. This is season 2, episode 8. It's called Killing Field, and it's from 2018. They aired it in 2018, but it took place in 2016. And like I said, these are stories that People Magazine has written articles about. And it takes place in South Carolina. We meet a girl named Kayla Brown. She's 30 years old. She grew up in South Carolina in a city called Spartanburg, and she works at a dialysis clinic. And to make extra money, she cleans houses for a real estate agent, which will come into play later. So she falls in love and meets a gentleman named Charlie Carver. And he grew up in South Carolina also. He's 32 years old. And, Charlie has a very good family. Charlie's dad, Chuck, I wanted to reach through the TV and hold this man. He was so kind. He's so loving. He's so genuine. He's so soft-spoken. I just loved this man talking about his son. Yes.
Yeah.
And his dad, Chuck, describes his son as always smiling, always happy to help people, and explains that Charlie and Kayla kind of have this whirlwind relationship, right? They fall in love, they meet, they fall in love quickly, and then they move in together quickly.
They're a cute couple.
Very cute together. And his dad said, I really knew that he loved her, and they were both really happy together. So then Chuck says on September 3rd in 2016, he gets a phone call from his ex-wife that said, hey, have you seen Charlie? I have been texting him. I have been calling him, and he's not responding. And that's not like him at all. And Charlie's dad says, no, I haven't heard from him. I don't know where he is. And that's very concerning because we learn they have a really tight-knit family. Charlie's always talking to his mom, always responding to his mom, always talks to his dad. And so his mom immediately knows something is wrong. So she calls the apartment manager to Charlie and Kayla's apartment and says, will you go check on him? Go knock on the door and check on him and see if they're there. So the apartment manager does that. She knocks on the door and nobody answers. She uses her key and lets herself in. And she's looking around. She sees Kayla's dog, Romeo, that looks like he has been left there alone for a couple of days without any food or water. But the house or the apartment looks fine. Like, she kind of remarks that it doesn't look like anybody's been here for a while. So she tells Charlie's mom this. And Charlie's mom, again, realizes there's something wrong. Goes to the police department to file a missing persons report for her son, Charlie. And we meet what I would call a big douchebag, a detective, Bradley Whitfield, that I did not care for at all. And he is explaining, very dismissive, very douchey, that, right, an adult human in the United States is allowed to go and come and do what they want, right? That's not a crime to go somewhere and not tell somebody about it. And is explaining that to the police are explaining this to Charlie's mom, basically dismissing her, saying, you know, your son and his girlfriend probably left, probably ran away, probably, you know, they did this of their own volition. We're not going to help you. Kind of dismissed her and told her to go away. So, the word spreads throughout friends and family for Charlie that Charlie is missing. And the next day, about 15 people show up at the police department demanding the police do something. Can I tell you, it is so distressing that it takes 20 people showing up at your department for you to do anything. Like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? What is wrong with these people? I don't care that they're adults. Something is wrong. But these people show up. The police finally say, okay, we will look into it and see what's going on. They say that they interview all these people at once, get each of their recounts of the last time they see Charlie, write down a statement. And they learn that the last time Charlie was seen was Tuesday, so a few days before, at work, leaving work at about 7:30 at night. He's on surveillance camera, leaving his job. And so the police say that they submit a search warrant for Charlie's cell phone data to see where his last known whereabouts are. So while they're waiting for this cell phone data to come in, the police and Charlie's dad see this weird Facebook post that says, "My beloved husband, R.I.P. from Charlie's estranged wife." Because we find out that Charlie is going through this kind of tumultuous divorce with his ex-wife. She's kind of a crazy nut. And she posts this weird thing on Facebook. And nobody has any idea what's going on. And her name is Nicole Nunez. So the police, Charlie's dad is like, I think she's involved somehow. She's done something. What did you do to my kid? Right? You just don't post rest in peace. Not like we're missing you or where have you gone, but rest in peace. Like,
yeah, like what the hell is going on here?
What the hell does that mean? So we find out through Charlie's dad that Nicole has been, as soon as she found out that Charlie was dating Kayla, has been stalking them and really not letting go of the relationship with her and Charlie. Chuck says Charlie told him one time that Charlie came home from work and Nicole was sitting in his apartment, just sitting in there. 911, I've got crazy person in my house. Like, that is terrifying.
Yeah.
Not okay. Not okay. Never been stalked. Have you ever had somebody that was crazy, ex-boyfriend or any partner that was kind of nuts?
Not to a dangerous extent.
Oh, okay, good. So. That's good. Yeah, so I think that's just terrifying. In my job, I see that every day, all day, and I don't know what that is like. Side note, on Hulu, there's a really good documentary called Stalking Samantha, which is very difficult to watch. We might talk about it. I'll ask you, but it is really good. That's really difficult to watch what this person put this girl named Samantha through. Anyway, I've never been stalked. I don't know personally what that must feel like, but it must be absolutely horrifically terrifying. Even for him, like, he's a guy. I mean, that's so scary for even a woman to be in his house. Like, I know he's a dude, but it's still scary for him.
I think it doesn't matter really who you are. I think that's when someone is keeping tabs on you, when someone feels entitled. That's just a thing. When someone feels entitled to your life, feels entitled to your time, feels entitled to know everything that's going on with you, I think that is terrifying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's horrible.
And he was scared of her.
Yeah.
He was trying to keep the peace with her as best he could.
Yeah. So the police aren't able to link, like, the Facebook post with any crime, I guess, that happened in regards to Charlie right now. So a month has gone by now, and Charlie's, there's no sign of Charlie or Kayla anywhere. And in October, Kayla's mom and Charlie's mom now start to go on TV news stations trying to get out that their kids are missing and there's something wrong, and if you've seen them or the last time you talked to them. So they're really trying to get this story out for people to be on the lookout, I guess, for their kids. They show this really sad part of Charlie's mom crying, saying, you know, it's so hard to be a parent when your child is missing. I don't care how old they are. You just sit there and think about, you know, where can they be? Are they cold? Are they hungry? Are they in the dark? Right? Are they hurt? And it doesn't matter that her son is 32. You know, as a parent, you're still going to have these horrible, you know, thoughts about when your kid is missing, where they could be.
I mean, Dad said, you've said, like, it doesn't ever stop. It's not like your kids turn 18 and then suddenly you're not thinking about them or caring for them or
immediately. But then the story gets even weirder, that a representative from AT&T gets a phone call from what this person says. They tell them that they're the lead investigator on Charlie's case, and they want to know from AT&T where Charlie's cell phone last pinged. So the AT&T representative gets suspicious because the person on the other line that says they're the lead investigator is not spelling the last name correctly and not giving them a badge number. And so they put this person on hold. They call the police department, ask the police department about it, and the police are like, no, that is not us. That is not us. So good on AT&T. So the police investigate the impersonator and find out that it is Nicole, Charlie's ex-wife. 3 days later, she gets arrested and charged with impersonating a police officer.
Well, that's illegal. You can't pretend to be the cops.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, who?
Crazy.
I mean, I get why he left her. Also, the people reenactment, they were very kind with the actor that they chose.
Yeah, they were.
Just saying.
We get to see, you are saying that because we get to see a little video footage of Nicole's hearing, her arraignment where they set bond, tell her the charges. And again, the actress they chose for her, they were very kind. We also find out that Nicole has been sending Charlie's mom text messages saying Charlie and Kayla are at the beach and Charlie never wants to talk to you again. And what?
He's talking to me. He's just not talking to you. What the fuck is wrong with this woman?
Yeah. Super scary, super sad. This poor woman is broken anyway. And this crazy bitch is, texting his mom. Mm-hmm. So they don't find any evidence right now that Nicole is connected to Charlie's disappearance. Nicole bonds out on the charge and she's awaiting trial. So we go back to Charlie's dad and he starts to say, I can't just sit around and do nothing. So I get in my car and I start driving around looking in ravines and creek beds and trying to see if their car has rolled off into the woods or bushes. And I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to find him. I can't just sit here and do nothing, and he says, I'm praying to God to have God tell me, what's going on, where I can find him. And this man is just devastated. He's just so hurt. You can just see and feel this man's emotions, trying to find his son. And I honestly would be doing the same thing. I would be like, I can't just sit here. I have to go figure out what happened. So then Chuck says around 45 days, almost 2 months into Charlie and Kayla missing, they get a break in the case because now the police have the cell phone data dumped from the last time the cell phones pinged, where they pinged. And they find out that the pings are coming from a neighboring town called Woodruff, South Carolina, and specifically near a road called Wolford Road. And so they look at that location, they go to that location, and it's this huge land. It's 95 acres, and it's owned by a real estate agent, a local real estate agent in that town named Todd Colehep. So the police, they don't know who this Todd person is. They just look him up online and find out he has this real estate agency called TKA Real Estate that he started 10 years prior. And it's a pretty good business. It has really good reviews. No complaints have come out of it. They don't know this guy from Adam, right? They don't know anything about this guy, this real estate business. They find out that Todd also owns a home in nearby another city called Moore, South Carolina. So he owns land in a nearby city, and then he owns a home and lives in a home in another city. The police decide to have 2 different teams, which I thought was genius. This is the only compliment I'm going to give them. 2 teams. One team goes to Todd's house in Moore, South Carolina, to ask him if he knows why Charlie and Kayla's cell phone would ping over in this 95-acre area that he owns. And they have a second team that goes out to the 95-acre land. Ingenious. Same time. This is happening currently at the same time. So we see on body video of investigators going to Todd's house and going in his house and talking to him and saying, hey, we have 2 missing people. Mm-hmm. And the last time their cell phone pinged was over on your property. Do you know anything about that? Can I just tell you, watching these investigators talk to him was gross. Gave me the super ick.
I wanted to ask you about this because other than the fact that this is the last place they saw their cell phones ping, that's literally the only thing they have to go off of.
Yeah.
But they have 2 warrants. one to search that property, and the second one to go into his house and look around. That seems like a lot of, don't you need more of a warrant to look through that normally? I would think. And then, they're like, isn't this crazy? This is why we're here. And he's like, and they're just totally open with him.
Yeah. And the one lady's like, you probably, one cop, female cop, she's like, you probably have no idea what's going on, do you? Yeah. What? Why are you
She's like, you have no idea. This is a big surprise to you, isn't it? And he's like, yeah, he's like, this is out of left field. Sure, go for it. I don't know.
What the fuck am I missing here? Yeah. To go back to your warrant question, they can get a generalized warrant, which is the area, right? I can walk in your house and I can look around. I can open drawers and I can do that. If they find something specific like a cell phone or a locked box, they have to go back and get another warrant to open those things. So there's specific warrants after the generalized ones that they go in to look around.
It just seemed like a lot to get just based on this one little piece of evidence, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I was like, and at this point, watching the body cam footage of him, and he's like, yeah, I have no idea. I was like, the ex-wife somehow like stumbled upon this guy's property.
Yeah.
And he's done, and I was like, it's 95 acres. And this poor guy who has no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then psychopath ex-wife. That's what I thought at this point.
Yeah. I immediately knew it was him because he was so charactery. Hey, I don't know why you're here. What do you mean? Why are you here? Like, you're overtly being weird. That's weird. You're covering some shit up. That's not normal behavior. Not normal. Somebody comes to my home. I have done nothing wrong. And they're like, that cell phone pinged in your house. I would lose my shit. I'd be like, oh my fucking God, no way. Like, I would lose. But he's just so charactery and hey, what? No. So then they simultaneously go to the other team that's at the 95 acres. And, Detective Dipshit is there. And he says, there's this gravel road that winds around through this acreage. It's wooded acreage except for the road. And he explains that there's 3 buildings on the property. There's a gardening shed that has supplies. There's a building that's a workshop garage that has an apartment over the top. And then there's this metal container, this Connex that's on there. And he says, they go to each building. They start with the garden shed and they search it top to bottom all around, right? The garden shed, they go to the building, do the same thing. So they've got a number of police officers out there. Yeah. And they're searching around the building with the apartment and they don't find anything. They go to the Connex. They first find, covered in brush and leaves, Charlie's car. They find his car there being covered. And his car was white and now his car is brown to camouflage.
Just smeared paint.
Yes.
It wasn't like to cover up the fact that it had been a white car. It was hiding the fact that it was a car.
Yes.
So you couldn't see it if you were flying over or something.
Yeah.
And it was hidden in there.
Oh, yeah. It was pretty good. They showed still photographs of the car and I'm like, is that a car? I'm trying to look and see. I'm like, God, that is a car, right?
When they first showed it, then they also showed a view from inside the car. And the windshield had also been really sloppily kind of painted over. And I was like, is that blood? Is that him trying to clean up blood?
God, right? Right. And then again, Detective Dipshit says, we find the car. Now there's a red flag going off. Sir, what? My fucking God, the inept of this fucking police officer is off the fucking charts. He's like, well, there's this red flag now that's going off. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So they go up to the Connex and the Connex is chain linked and padlocked shut. And they're like, ding, ding, ding. Something's weird about that. That's fucking weird. It looks weird.
Like a shipping container, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's like a converted shipping container thing?
Yeah. Huge shipping container that has all these padlocks and chain links on it. So they want to get in. They've got this sledgehammer and, bolt cutters and saws trying to cut through the chain and through the padlock. And as they're smacking it with the sledgehammer, they start to hear someone kicking or hitting the inside of this metal container. So they stop and they knock on it to see if someone knocks back. And then they hear this woman screaming from the inside of this metal container. And they're like, fucking shit. Oh God. So then they're trying to call in all the resources, which I guess took a while to get the right bolt cutters or saw. I don't know. They said it took an hour to get the door open. They have on-body video of them opening the door, going in, and these officers, Detective Dipshit, they're calling to her. Hello, who's there? What's your name? Do you have any weapons? I get it, police officers. I get that you are trying to be safe. But are you fucking nuts? You just cut through a padlock and you think the person inside has a weapon. Jesus Christ. So they go
pull
in.
Up to her.
Yes.
She's like posed like this. Like they have her
chained.
In a position to make sure she's not going to be a danger to them.
No. Yes. She has chain links around her neck, a padlock to another chain link that is chained to the floor or the side of this metal connex. There's a mattress in there, and she is just sitting in there in the dark. And then they say, are you okay, honey? What the fuck is wrong with you? First of all, don't call me honey. Second of all, no, I'm not fucking okay. I'm chained up like a goddamn dog in here in the dark. I can't with these men. I can't. It's so fucking weird. So they have Kayla. Kayla is the girl inside the Connex. We go back to the house. We go back to on-body footage of them talking to Todd. One of the police officers gets a phone call that says from the other officers at the acres, we've got Kayla. Basically, don't let this fucking dick go. He hangs up the phone and he looks at Todd and says, hey, just for our safety, stand up, turn around and put you in handcuffs. Fine. Put him in handcuffs, sit his fat ass down and say, we've recovered Kayla. We have her in the metal container that you put her in. She said, you put her there. She said, you killed Charlie. What do you have to say? Do you want to tell us where Charlie is? Do you want to help yourself out? And he says, nope, I want an attorney. They haul his ass off in the police car, arrest him for kidnapping right now. They go back to the footage with Kayla inside the metal container, and they say, hey, where's your buddy? What the fuck response is that? Hey, where's your buddy? And even she says, you mean Charlie? Because that's not an appropriate response for someone who is chained up. I'm just so violently angry at what I've watched them display towards her.
The lack of care.
Yes.
And then on top of it, the lack of professionalism.
Yes. It was gross.
Have at least one of those.
Right. So she says, you mean Charlie? And they said, yeah. And she said, Charlie's dead. Todd shot him, rolled him up in a blue tarp, and buried him. He's dead. And okay.
It was incredible, to be honest. Watching her, she was very professional. She was very direct. She was very clear.
Yeah.
She's first and last name. We were here on this date. He shot him in the chest 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
He was dead. This is what happened. And she's just very clear, direct, unemotional. Making sure, she was like, I need to make sure I handle this perfectly to get justice.
Yeah, right. And also to make sure that they don't think that I did anything to Todd. You have to do that, which sucks ass, because police think everybody is the perpetrator. They just think everybody's the suspect. They show, let's see, let me back up. The media gets hold of the idea that Todd's arrested. They put his face, his mugshot on TV, and the police begin to look into Todd's background. They say, as a kid, Todd was known for torturing small animals and having a fascination and a love of guns. And we find out that Todd's mother sent him to Arizona to live with his father. I wonder why. In November 1986, Todd visits a female classmate. He's 15 years old. She's 14. She lives down the street or next door near him at this time. They say he lures her to his house. He shows that he has a gun. So that's how she goes with him. He ties her up, takes her to his room. He ties her up. He puts duct tape on her mouth and he rapes her. Tells her, don't say anything. Walks her home after that. She tells the police he ultimately goes to prison for 14 years because of this rape, where he should still be, but he goes to prison for this rape in Arizona. Gets out in 2001 and moves back to South Carolina, so that's where we have him now, and starts this real estate company. He's established himself as a realtor, starts his own company, and has been doing this since 2001, and now it's 2016. So
what a horrible, horrible career path. Because it's Sophie. I mean, like, what do realtors have? Access to people's homes.
Right. Yeah.
Some scary shit.
Yeah. People get in the car with realtors and get driven around by them. They get in their own, right? I did that once. We'll never do it again. But that was years and years ago. But no, people don't get that, and they get in their car. Yeah, no. What I started to say before, I got ahead of myself. We see police footage of Kayla in the ambulance after they get her out of the metal container and they're interviewing her. Can I just tell you, her body language while she's being interviewed, they're sitting side to side, you can see. She is like this. Her positioning is away from them.
Yep.
She's not looking at them. You can tell she doesn't trust them. She doesn't like them. She doesn't want anything to do with these people. They say, how do you know Todd? Right? They're interviewing you. How do you know Todd? And she says, I met him 4 or 5, 6 years ago through a guy I was dating. They were friends. And then Todd and I just became Facebook friends and stayed in touch that way. And then I started cleaning houses for him on the side. And she explains that on August 31st, 2016, that Todd gives her a cleaning job, and Kayla and Charlie end up going to Todd's property to pick up some supplies for the cleaning job. And Todd hands them like these trimming shears, these cutters that you would cut like bushes or branches with, and some water, and points to where on the property, right? I want this cleaned up. I want this done, and leaves. And she said her and Charlie are there. And a few minutes later, Todd comes back and he has a gun. And he just walks up to Charlie and shoots him 3 times. Just without any warning. Doesn't say anything. Just shoots him 3 times. She is in complete shock. She said, I was in shock. I didn't know what I just saw. I don't know what's happening. She said Todd comes up from behind her and grabs her and pulls her into the shipping container and binds her ankles in her hands and puts a gag in her mouth. And she's laying there on the floor, and he pulls up a chair and he says, I'm sorry I had to see that, but you have nothing to worry about as long as you do what I tell you to do. I'm not going to kill you as long as you do what I tell you to do. So she explains she's kept in this container. She's raped every day. He comes in periodically with food and water. He takes her out of the container periodically. I would hope maybe to use the restroom, but they don't say that. But he walks her around the property, and they show the reenactment of her with the chain around her neck and the chain tied to another chain like he's walking a dog. I don't know if that is what happened or she told him that's what happened and that's what the reenactment was for. But he's walking her around like a dog, saying, right, you run away and I'll kill you. He walks her over to the grave and where he's buried Charlie and said, you don't do what I ask you to do, and this is where you're going to end up. So he's scaring her. And he also says, you know what? Stockholm syndrome is going to kick in pretty soon, and you're going to love that you're here. That's so cringy and scary. What?
Fucking insane.
What? Oh my God.
Also, they've disproven Stockholm syndrome.
Right.
Stockholm syndrome, not an actual thing.
It's so fucking scary.
Terrifying.
So yeah. So then they cut to Todd's police interrogation video. This man's body language. He is a very heavyset man. What, maybe 300 pounds, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a very heavyset man. He doesn't have to sit like this at a desk. He's got one arm up on the armrest. He's got the other arm back on the other armrest with his shoulder out, and he's leaning forward, talking like this to the police interviewers. He could sit like I am. Doesn't have to sit the way he's sitting, but he is definitely thinking he's in control. He likes himself a lot. He's a total maniacal narcissist.
Psychopaths, thrilled for this attention.
Yes, totally thrilled. They ask him about Charlie, and they're like, why'd you kill him, dude? Why'd you shoot him? Did he do something to make you mad? Were you angry at him? Did something happen? He was like, no. I was pissed off at her. I was mad at Kayla, so I shot him. But that makes no sense. We don't know why he was mad at Kayla. They never tell us, which I'm sad about. I really want to know why. But I guess we don't need to know because he's crazy. Mm-hmm. But Charlie's dad comes back on and is sobbing and crying. And he's like, he killed my son because he was mad at her. He took away my son because he was mad at her. I mean, he's just so upset about it. It's just terrible to watch. So they cut back to Todd in the police interrogation video, and they say, we found Charlie's body. We found the grave that you put him in. And they tell him where, because Todd's like, where? Mm-hmm. Where'd you find it? They tell him where, on the property. And then Todd says, well, that's not the only one out there. Again, very grossly excited to tell him more.
Self-satisfied, proud of himself.
Really, really gross and hard to watch. And even the police are writing things down. They're listening to him. He says that and they look up. Totally in shock. Like, we didn't ask you, or we don't know. So he says, yeah, I killed 2 more people because they tried to rob me, which I don't really know. But his story, we find out that 2 other people named Johnny and Megan Coxey, husband and wife, in their 20s. She's 25, he's 29. They were also cleaning houses for him as well. And he said, Todd says, I had this job for them. I drove them out there to get the supplies. And I turn around and then Johnny pulls out a knife, I guess, to rob him. Todd shoots and kills Johnny again right in front of Megan, just like he did with Kayla and Charlie. Shoots and kills Johnny. And they said, okay, so then you just killed Megan too? And he goes, no, I kept her. I put her in the Connex. And they're like, what? So he goes, yeah, I kept her for like 4 or 5 days, 5, 6 days. I put her in there. And he's like, I didn't know what I was going to do with her. I knew that she saw that I killed him. I didn't know what I was going to do with her. I didn't have any plans. And then he's like, this crazy bitch tried to light my container on fire. I'm sure to escape, you think, sir? So he gets pissed off about that. He walks her outside and shoots her in the back of the head and kills her. And tells them where. Well, he says that they go out. The police say we took them back out to the property. And he says this is where they are. So they dig them up. And they find Johnny and Megan body. They had been missing since December of 2015. But he says, yep, this is where they are. Then, self-serving Todd says, well, just about to close one of your cases for you. After that, again, this man is boasting. It is so gross. It's so gross. So apparently in 2003, they had this really, they called it a notorious unsolved crime in South Carolina, which apparently was a big deal and everybody knew about it. And there was 4 people that were murdered in 2013 at this motorbike, this shop. They called it the Superbike Murders. So this motorcycle shop, 4 people were gunned down in the shop and they had no idea what happened or who did it. And he said, yeah, I killed him. It was me. And they're like, okay, tell me what happened. So Todd explains he bought a motorcycle from this Superbike Motorsports, and he had the bike for 14 days or so, and it got stolen out of his apartment parking lot. So he said he got insurance money for the theft. He went back to the shop to buy another one. And in the shop is Beverly Guy, Scott Ponder, Brian Lucas, and Chris Sherbert. So Chris Sherbert's the mechanic. He's in the back. Scott and Brian are the owner and the manager, and Beverly is probably the bookkeeper maybe, but it's Scott's mom. And he goes back to the store to buy a new bike, and he talks to Brian, I think he says. And he tells Brian the story. Hey, my bike got stolen. I need to buy another one. And Todd's story is Brian made some snide off the hook comment about, well, that's another one we're going to have to get. Meaning, in Todd's mind, they stole his first bike. And now they're going to steal this second bike. None of this shit makes sense.
It's a wild conclusion to jump to, not to mention the fact that then go buy your motorcycle from somewhere else. Right?
So fucking weird. It's so weird. So he says he's gracious at the time and he doesn't do anything about it. Mr. Gracious doesn't do anything about it. He leaves. He says he spins himself up and he's thinking about it, getting more and more mad. He goes and buys a Beretta. Walks in to the shop again with the intent to kill these people. Goes straight to the back where the mechanic is, shoots the mechanic, comes back out to the showroom, and the other three, Beverly, Scott, and Brian, are in the showroom, obviously can hear the gunshots. He says, Mom was standing closest. I shot her. I shot twice. I shot her twice at close range. And he's like, the pattern was awful. Mm-hmm. What? I mean, who comments like that?
He makes a couple comments about this in the explanation that are so whacked out. Yeah. Because you can tell he's like a gun guy. He thinks guns are really cool. He thinks that killing is super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it wasn't my best work.
But then there were other people. Was it the first couple that he had said that he shot two shots, one in each lung? It was perfect. They would have been proud. He's like, I know that it's not right, whatever, but you guys would have been proud. Like, he's telling this story like they're going to be super impressed at what he did with these guns.
No. He says in a tactical maneuver, he reloads to shoot the other two people. So now Brian and Scott are running for the door. He shoots, I don't remember which one first, in the back. He drops. The other one is almost out the door, and he shoots him, and he says he falls dead outside. He's just boasting about how fast he reloaded his gun, and how fast he cleared the building in less than 30 seconds. Horrible. Disgusting and horrible when you're talking about human beings. He says after he shot the last person that fell outside, he goes around to each one of them and puts one bullet in their heads. Just to make sure they're dead, apparently. And the police knew he was telling the truth because that hadn't been released to the public about each of them having one shot in the head. So, we see these families of this 4 victims, and had wait 13 years to find out who killed their family. One of them, Scott, his wife, 2 days before, had an ultrasound, was pregnant. Her son never got to know his father. He was murdered 2 days later after this ultrasound. Like, it's so horrible. All of these people, none of them had enemies. They couldn't figure out who would do this. Like, they were so sweet and so kind talking about their loved ones. But Todd's the biggest piece of shit. So after that, families get together. Todd is charged with 12 counts, 7 counts of which are murder. The families say, we get together with the prosecutors to make a plea deal that if Todd pleads guilty to every single count, all 12, including the 7 counts of murder, that the prosecutors will take off the table the death penalty, that he'll just get life in prison without parole. All the families sign off. Charlie's mom and dad were the last to sign the plea deal because they both believed, he should have had the death penalty. He should have been killed for this, which I don't disagree. So they finally sign off on it.
We had talked about the death penalty case in a previous episode.
Yeah.
And this is kind of one of those cases where I would like to have higher ideals about things. Mm-hmm. But I can 100% understand and empathize with the feeling of I wish he was dead. Because I don't think that man feels guilt for any of it. I think he's proud. I think he's impressed with himself.
Yeah.
I think he's like, I got caught, but I did this and I did it well. He I don't think he has a lot of humanity to himself.
No, it was really hard to watch. And so in May of 2017, pleads guilty. And he gets sentenced to 7 life sentences without parole. They have a weird side note that says, at the sentencing, Todd's defense attorneys say hand to God, there's no additional victims. Todd, there's no additional victims. I'm sorry, nobody believes this. I didn't believe that. Nobody believes it. So
also a weird thing to say.
I
promise. So what does that mean? Does that mean we get to go back and change our minds about the death penalty after?
Yeah. So
what does that mean?
I have been doing my job for 21 years. I have never heard of an attorney saying that ever. So then People Magazine, they say the journalist writes a story, publishes in People Magazine, and he gets an email from someone that says, wait, maybe not. So she tells a story. She is shadowed out and we don't see her face. We don't know her new name and her voice is disguised and they call her Jill. And Jill says in November of 1986 that she was 22 years old. She was a student at Arizona State. On a Saturday night, she was woken up to a man standing over her, put duct tape on her, over her mouth, flipped her over, tied her up and raped her. She said it was horrifying. She said he was sort of awkward, was whispering things in her ear like, do you like it? She said it just seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. But she said it was a horrifying experience. It was terrible. He leaves and she obviously calls the police. She goes to the hospital, gets a rape kit, and the rape kit is done. And they say to her that there's no sperm inside of her, but she does have deep abrasions. And so he probably used a condom. Well, the police take her statement and they never talk to her again. They never come back and ask her anything. They never follow up with her ever again. And she feels completely dismissed. And while I'm watching that, I'm thinking, you know what? I feel like when women are raped, the police don't take it seriously because I think on half a side, they think, well, what was she wearing? What was she doing? She probably deserved it. They have these horrible thoughts and they don't care. They just don't care. So she says 14 days later, Todd goes and rapes his neighbor, that 14-year-old girl that he went to prison for. So she's like, if they would have followed up with me, they could have known or figured out this guy was a serial rapist or that he was going to do something terrible in the future. But no, they didn't. So he raped this young girl. And if Jill says if they had talked to me more, maybe these, other people would have never been killed. At the end of the show, right, Todd comes out through his attorneys that says he denies this Jill incident. But they also show that Jill's roommate a week before had said she was asleep on the couch, woke up to someone standing in her doorway, and the guy said, oh, sorry, wrong apartment, and left. And her roommate described this gentleman as being like a 15-year-old kid. She goes, I wasn't scared about it. I don't know what this dude was doing. He was just some young kid and he left. But when Todd's picture was posted on TV, his mugshot, her roommate goes, that was the guy that came in the house. That was the guy that was standing in the doorway that I saw. Mm-hmm. And so that's how they make these connections between the two. Todd, like I said, through his attorneys, denies this allegation with Jill. But they also say that Todd has since claimed that there are additional victims. Mm-hmm. And they just leave that hanging out in the wind at the end of the show, right? We don't know what's going on or however many more people he's killed. And they describe Todd as like this killer living amongst us, right? Because he's this real estate agent going into, empty houses with people, driving people around in his car. And all the while he's just killing people and getting this huge joy out of it. It's really disturbing.
I think the part that freaks me out the most about this, he either has more information about people that he's hurt or murdered.
Yeah.
And then we'll either never know, and he'll hold that over everyone, right? Or you have to tease it out of him, and then he gets to be proud of himself all over again. It's a no-win situation.
Yeah.
It's gross and it sucks, and fuck that guy, and
Charlie's dad did say that he and his ex-wife and the other families have all gotten really close and hang out together. So I really liked that. He seemed to find support in all the other families. They get together on a regular basis. And I love that for them, because they share that horrible situation.
But they're able to find something positive and be able to find comfort in each other in that way, I think is really, it's sad, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was really nice to see. But
that
was the end. It was really good. Watch any of those People Investigates. Like I said, I watched a couple I might talk to you about, but they're really good. They're very short, really quick. And I liked how because some documentaries, it takes like the whole first episode, you're like, okay, this is the background. We watched this guy grow up. He went to school and we see his mom and dad. And then the second episode, they tell us what happened. This just immediately gets in. They tell us about the crime. They tell us about the people. And it's really great. It keeps you watching the whole time. I really liked that.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was really well done.
Yeah. Really, really good.
And, nice and concise. So thank you for sharing that one.
You're welcome.
It was a good one.
Thank
you. It was
you.
a good one.
It was good.
And, just more to sit back and go, how do I feel about the death penalty?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Fuck, it was intense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next week we have...
We hope.
Oh, sorry.
Housewives.
Got chilly. I think I'm trying to warm myself up. More Housewives.
We hope. Yeah.
We hope.
I hope. Yeah.
If not, we'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out.
But, all right. Well, thank you so much for doing a podcast with me.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you. And we love all of you.
Yes.
Thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Evan and Greg, because I know they're listening.
Woo! Hi, Evan. Hi, Greg.
And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
True crime story time. Whispers in the dark. Truth leaves a mark. Truth